We are extremely happy and honored, and personally, I deem it a great privilege to be present in this important international event organized by Banco Santander and also Universia. The main objective of this meeting is precisely provoking, provoking dialogue between men and women, academics, responsible persons for the education of the younger generations, which means men and women that are really committed, I would say, to the training, to the real basic formation for the younger generation and also for the future societies. I say future societies but future might be tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. It's a seeable future. So this is, I would say, a great opportunity for us, especially for us coming from Catholic universities. We, as I said, we feel home in this context. And nobody should be surprised that we feel home in this context, precisely because with all the 1,100 some participants in this meeting, we share a common mission. We share a common mission, that is, we are men and women, academics, responsible people for the formation of younger generations, which means that this is, I would say, our basic endeavor. This is what we have in common, all the persons from various parts of the world, even from Asia, from Europe, from North America, and also from the Americas, especially Latin America. We do share that common ground, which is higher education. At the same time, it's extremely interesting to realize and to be aware of the fact that we, as Catholic universities, we also have some specificities that are really part of our very endeavor as a university. In fact, one important specificity of our Catholic universities is the promotion and the practice of the dialogue between faith, science, and culture. This is, I would say, not a trademark. I don't like the expression trademark, but I mean, it is part of the trademark of the identity of the mission of a Catholic university. So we are not exclusively preoccupied by the academic formation of our students. We are responsible, and we feel so, we are responsible of the global formation of our students, which means academic, intellectual formation, human formation, spiritual formation, social formation of all our students. And this is for us a part, I would say, in the very heart of our mission. It is important to give the students a very good professional training, because one of the reasons why they come to us, they want to have a good formation for the future. And very often, if we listen to the students, we realize that they also want to have a good salary, to have a good life, which is excellent, but which is not enough. We have a deeper and a much more ambitious, I would say, mission and will, the formation, the integral formation of the students. And in this respect, I think that we have a very specific role to play in our societies. We have a lot of men and women well trained. Do our societies function better because we have good professionals? To be a good professional is not enough. It's absolutely not enough. You have to be a good professional, but you have to be a responsible person. You have to have the right motivations to exert your own profession. If you don't have that, you have to also to have ethical principles. You have to be sensitive, extremely sensitive to your environment, sensitive to the social and political issues. To be sensitive, I would say, to not only to your own society, but to the whole world. And this is one of the characteristics of a Catholic university. A Catholic university must pave the way in the mind of our students, must pave the way to men and women committed to the universe. Because in fact, to be Catholic is to be open to the rest of the world. Otherwise, we are not complying with our mission, not only as Catholic institutions, we are not complying with our mission as Christians, period. So it is very, very important, because the Catholic University is there to make sure also that we broaden the perspective. We try to communicate, to stimulate, to help our students to elaborate not only a personal life project, but also at the same time to help them to make sure that they will have a real vision of the world. A vision of the world. It goes much beyond a profession. It goes much beyond a job. Because if you have a good profession, you have a good job, it doesn't mean that you will be happy. It doesn't come automatically. If you want to be happy, I think that you have to expect and give more to life. This is very, very important. So the dimension of responsibilities is extremely important, and this is what we try to do. Responsible for peace, responsible for development, responsible basically for justice. This is part of our endeavor. This is our mission as Catholic universities. So to be part of this meeting for us, as I said, we feel home, because we know that we share basic values, you share a kind of a common vision, I would say, of the world of education. I know that we may have many ways to practice this, but there is only one important point that we should share all together. It is the place, the importance of the human being that must be at the core of our educational project. If the human being is not at the core of our educational project, very often economy, money will be at the center. And this is, I would say, a big mistake. Economy is important, but let's not give economy the role that it shouldn't play. Let's not leave the future of the world in the hands of the economists. The economists are playing a very important role, but it has to be a role perceived in its right dimensions. So for all these reasons, as you can imagine, we share a lot, but at the same time, we should be able to go much further. We should be able, between university people, between all the peoples that are surrounding in this, that are walking around in this beautiful place, we should be able to give a step forward. I mean, a step forward in terms of a deeper, a wider vision of what is a humanistic education. Nowadays, we have to realize that in many cases, education, is perceived as a push to economy. And I think that for us, it's very, very important to say that we do not share that vision of education. Education is centered on the human being, centered on the society as a service. And then, of course, there might be, as a consequence, there might be an economic growth. Hopefully, there will be an economic growth. But the economic growth is not the objective, is not the objective of education. Because in many documents nowadays in the world, even with the World Bank, for instance, it's very clear. I have some documents, I read many documents, and it's very, very clear that education should be the future of economy. I don't think so. Personally, I allow myself to have a different vision of education. I'm not saying that I do not share other values concerning higher education with other people, but that point for us is central, and I think that we have to stick very strongly to that dimension of education in a Catholic milieu, because this is one of our basic specificities, and we have to be able to express it. But hopefully, we will be able also to, as I said, to deeper a kind of a common vision of education that will go beyond, I would say, economy.